Hi, it's me, white guy sharing his opinions to the internet, unprompted, number 4,856,343. Rachel Joy Scott was the first person to be shot and killed during the 1999 Columbine High School massacre. She was 17. As is the case with every person to be killed in our country's countless school shootings, her death was a tragedy. I'm Not Ashamed is a 2016 film that sets out to tell the story of Rachel's life, which is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to tell that story on screen. However, the film was distributed by pureflix Entertainment, a studio known for Christian films like God's Not Dead. Because you see, Rachel Joy Scott identified as a Christian, so the people at pureflix wanted to tell the story from that angle, with her religion as the focal point. And that kinda doesn't sit right with me. Like, they were only interested in dramatizing the story of this girl's tragic death because they could do so through a Christian lens. And that her being a Christian makes this story uniquely tragic and inspiring compared to the other victims who might have had different religious beliefs. I know that's pretty much the most bad faith assumption about the filmmaker's intentions that I could make, but having watched the movie, I don't think it's an inaccurate one. Especially considering some of the creative liberties they take with her story and how they contradict what actually happened. Hopefully, if you don't agree with me now, as I go through the movie, what I'm saying will become more clear. So the movie incorporates several entries from the real Rachel Scott's diary, and the film even opens with her writing in it. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. So after a flashback where we learn Rachel experienced divorce and poverty as a child, we transition to her in high school with her friends.
I'll get him to notice you. But first, you have to stop wearing these hats that you've been wearing since the 4th grade. Look at me.
Thank you. You're the best, Maddie.
Don't call me that. Stop it, I hate it. God.
Okay, so I'm aware that pretty much all movies need some moments of levity to get you to care about the characters. But personally, if I were writing a movie about something as serious as an actual school shooting where actual people died, I'd be really careful to make sure those moments don't come across as too cheesy, like something out of a bad Disney Channel movie.
Rawr. Totally.
Like, in terms of tone deafness, I'd say this is on par with that guy who did the school shooting rap on TikTok. Land of the free, home of the brave, land of the AR-15, home of kids in the grave. Children dying in the schools, but can you tell me why? That weekend, Rachel and her friends go to drink and swim with some boys, and she starts to fall for Alex, a theater boy. And after hearing the kind of game he spits, I can't blame her.
I'm a spiritual guy myself. You know, I like to take in the energy around me from my art.
Like he's got me bricked up with those honeyed words. After arriving home, she's caught by her mom, who's furious, and as a punishment sends Rachel to spend the summer with her aunt on a farm. An ant farm. But I don't know, I feel that all she did was like normal teenager activities. At least she didn't drive home. That summer on the farm, her cousin notices she's been acting weird.
Rach, you're kind of different this summer.
I just wanted to be alone.
For 4 hours?
If wanting to be alone for 4 hours makes you weird, then you can just call me Al.
You would never understand. Your family's perfect. No, we're not.
Last month, I walked in on my parents taking turns fucking the horse. The cousin explains that she only found peace when she dedicated her life to Jesus. And over the course of the summer, Rachel learns to do the same. 10-year-olds at a basketball game when the score becomes 6-7. Rachel's aunt gifts her a diary which she begins writing in.
God, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I'm sorry I didn't trust you. You know what you're doing, and you know what's best for me.
So sorry to get a little dark and depressing, but I feel that's inevitable given this movie's subject matter. Is it not weird to tout these as Rachel's beliefs, that God knows what he's doing and what's best for her, when we know what her ultimate fate is? Like, I think there's a good chance that Rachel's belief in God's plan might have wavered a little if she somehow knew what ended up happening to her. Like, she struggles with it a little later in the movie.
If God loves me so much, why does he put me through so much pain?
And that's just because of some friendship relationship drama. Like, personally, school shootings are one of the tragic realities that keep me from believing in an all-good, all-powerful God, and I've never even experienced one. Anyway, Rachel returns to school with a new dedication to kindness after becoming a Christian.
Hey, Austin.
Hey, Rachel. Rachel's got a new boyfriend.
Not exactly, Sean.
What Austin and I have is purely physical. Later at a party, Rachel has another encounter with Alex, but loses his attention to some other girls.
Hey, Chloe.
Hi. Good, how are you?
I'm great.
I heard you're running a play.
Yeah. I'll see you in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much action writing plays could realistically get you in high school. Like, I can tell you girls never asked to hear about my screenplays at that age. But when I look back at those screenplays, Justice gestures to the house left of Emma's. This is my house. So I'm literally the girl next door. Talk about cliche. Hey, only great things become cliche. Oh, dude, that's so bad. That was probably for the best. We then see Rachel at her Christian youth group.
Don't forget, we got pizza in the back.
Where she notices a new boy trying to take pizza home and follows him outside. She learns his name is Nathan and that he has a single heroin-addicted mom and is struggling with homelessness. She invites him back to the Christian youth group where some of the Christian guys offer him a place to stay.
Hey, Nate.
It's Nathan.
Nathan. Sorry. It's not much, but if you want, you could stay at my place until you figure things out. We got a couch in the basement. If that doesn't work, I think some of the other guys are checking with their parents too.
Thanks, man. You can call me Nate. It's cool.
Tony.
No, just Nathan or Nate, not Tony. Anyway, while rehearsing together for the school play, Rachel gets closer with Alex, the playwright.
My dad just up and left when I was a kid. My mom was left with nothing. I haven't talked to him in years.
It leaves a hole inside, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that one. Ultimately, the two become something of a couple. Meanwhile, she's also getting closer with Nathan at youth group, and he doesn't seem to approve of her relationship with Alex.
Why, is he a Christian?
He's really spiritual.
I thought you said you wanted a Christian boyfriend.
He really respects my faith. He just believes in a lot of things right now.
I don't know why you mess around with that guy.
You know, of all people, I didn't think you would judge him.
I'm not judging. Rachel, I think you're being stupid.
And like, it makes sense for us as the audience to not trust Alex because we've heard him speak.
Yeah, I just don't think you can always define things with words. You know, I feel like what we have is so much stronger than human constructs like language.
But Nathan has never met Alex, so he doesn't approve of Rachel's relationship with him pretty much for the sole reason that he's not a Christian! When he himself has only been a Christian for like a few months tops. He acts even crazier when he actually meets Alex opening night of the play.
So what'd you think?
I liked everything about it, except you.
Such freak behavior. Later at the cast party, Rachel's promiscuous friend Celine gets done hooking up with a guy.
You missed a button.
And unfortunately, so did he back there. Then, after Rachel rejects an advance from Alex, she finds him hooking up with her friend Madison.
I don't really respond to limitations, Rachel.
I told you that this Jesus freak thing would be an issue.
Wait, are you like a serious Christian?
So it turns out Nathan was right. Rachel was wrong to trust a godless heathen like Alex. Because, you know, all the men in the Bible are strictly monogamous. So devastated by losing those closest to her, she reconnects with both Nathan and Jesus.
You're not gonna be a beer chugging, pot tripping, cigar puffing, drug dealing Christian?
No, I'm a God-loving, Satan-slamming, Jesus-freaking, world-changing Christian warrior for Christ.
So obviously my gut reaction was to mercilessly make fun of that whole routine she just did. But then I watched a clip from when I was the same age that Rachel is supposed to be here.
Special friend.
and that humbled me. Rachel then gives a presentation in English class where she reveals she's a Christian.
And what's behind all of this is my faith. I'm a Christian. I'm not trying to be weird or convert anybody or anything like that. I just wanted to be real with you guys and let you know who I am.
Oh my god, there's no way that revealing you belong to the biggest religious group in the country would get you that kind of uncomfortable reaction even today, let alone in 1999. Two of her classmates then have a more provocative presentation, which Rachel gets the teacher to turn off, so the boys confront her about it after class.
I didn't stop your stupid Jesus speech.
You think you're better than us?
No, I'm not better than anybody.
Oh, I know you're not.
You're just like all the others.
Compassion. Yeah, that'll work.
So obviously these boys end up being the shooters, and there have actually been some scenes featuring them throughout the movie before this, showing them get bullied and then eventually radicalized. And for scenes depicting two guys that actually existed and killed people, it again feels like no effort was made to keep them from feeling incredibly cheesy, dude.
When the bombs blow up, it's gonna be awesome. Boom! Finally, we're gonna make things right. Heil Hitler.
Also, I know it's historically accurate that the Columbine shooters both played violent video games, and that they believed their desire to kill was some twisted form of natural selection.
We'll get our revenge. Kick natural selection up a few notches.
So there's nothing inherently wrong with mentioning those facts in the movie, but since it puts such an emphasis on them, and I know this is a Christian movie, I can't help but feel like they're partially trying to blame video games and the teaching of evolution in school for what the boys ultimately did.
One of Hitler's central themes in his writing is that it was a Nazi's responsibility to aid evolution by exterminating less evolved people groups. Hitler thought natural selection should be actively aided.
Like, what teacher would bring a physical copy of a book like that to class with literal swastikas up the spine, dude? Also, I don't feel I need to tell you that they didn't once bring up a lack of gun control as a possible contributing factor to what happened, because the pureflix crowd wouldn't be too fond of it. So on the morning of April 20th, Rachel is being her typical compassionate Christian self, talking to a peer she doesn't even know that well who's struggling, when the shooters arrive, and remembering her Christian presentation in English class, choose her to be their first victim.
Do you still believe in God?
No, I do.
Then go be with him.
Wow, they might have spared her if she said no, but she was willing to die for her faith, just like so many of Christ's actual disciples. Only, that is not what happened. The historical journalistic consensus of what actually happened is that the shooters shot Rachel from afar, did not know her personally or that she was a Christian, and were targeting their peers semi-randomly, not based on ethnicity or religion or anything. This narrative of Rachel basically being a Christian martyr was perpetuated in the wake of the shooting by many religious groups and even Rachel's parents. And I just personally think that's wrong, to lie about the circumstances surrounding someone's tragic murder for the purpose of, I assume, perpetuating the idea that Christians are a targeted, oppressed religious group in America. So her friends and family make a memorial out of her car, Nathan speaks at her funeral thanking her for bringing him to Christ, and over the credits they show photos of the real Rachel Scott. So that was I'm Not Ashamed. From a cinematic standpoint, it's obviously an incredibly cringy, cheesy watch, especially considering the extremely sensitive subject matter. But also, it's one thing to make a movie advertising and hyping up your religion, that I can understand to an extent, but to co-opt a real person's tragic murder to do that, and go as far as to lie about the circumstances surrounding it, I don't think I'm being unfair in being bothered by that. That'd be like a movie movie about 9/11 having a bunch of KFC product placement. Again, pureflix only saw this story as worth telling because Rachel was a Christian, so they could easily turn her story into Christian propaganda. Like, I guess the movie also has some more general themes about compassion and forgiveness, but there's no denying that the main lesson the filmmakers hoped audiences would take away from it is that you should probably accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. It's what Rachel would have wanted. And I just think there are so many more important and universal lessons one could take away from a tragedy like the Columbine massacre than what building they should go to on Sundays. For example, the fact that anybody who even touches a first-person shooter game is on track to become a mass murderer.